good to see everybody, and all those smiling faces out there, Mr. Gray. I like that smiling face. Yeah. Glad everybody's here. At this time, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Clerk Barger, if you will, call the roll, please.
Master Combs? Here. Master Barger? Here. Master Tudor? Here. Master Botkin? Here. Judge Taylor?
Here. At this time, I'd like to invite Vicki Young up to lead us in a word of prayer. She's from the New Vision Pentecostal Holiness Church. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Excuse my tire, I just came from work.
It's good.
It's fine.
Blessed God and Holy Father, God, we thank you, Lord, for this wonderful day. Father, we thank you, God, and we ask your blessings, God, upon all the city of Richmond. God, we pray, Lord, Madison County, God, all our firefighters, our police officials, God, our workers, our staff at the courthouse, God, the mayor, the president, the governors. God, we pray, God, your blessings, your protection, God, upon each and every one. God, we pray guidance, Lord, for our leadership, God, Lord, that they look unto you, God, for the guidance, Lord, and God, you put a protection around, God, all our emergency workers. God, we pray, God, your favor, God, upon our city, God. Bless our businesses, God. Let the city of Richmond and Berea grow. God, bless our town, our country. God, rid our city from drugs and alcohol, God, we pray. God, we ask your blessings upon each one of these people here today. God, protect them and their families, God. We just pray, God, your blessing and anointing upon this city. God, we love you and give you praise and honor for all things, God. For we ask everything, Lord, believing in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
God
Thank
bless
you.
all of you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sheriff, if you will.
Everyone would please stand and face the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated.
Thank you, Sheriff. Guys, y'all had a chance to look over the minutes from the previous meeting. At this time, I need a motion and a second to approve those.
So move.
Second.
No discussion. Call the roll, please.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Master Botkin?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Ms. Glenna.
The treasurer's report is in your Dropbox, and as of May 31st, 2017, our total fund budget was $7,173,778.19. As of 5/31/17, our revenues for our general fund was at 78.43%. Our expenditures are at 56.9%. Revenues for the road fund is 81.6%. Expenditures are at 67.22%. The jail fund revenues are at 85.6%. Our expenditures are at 85.3%. CSEP fund revenues are at 11.87%. Our expenditures are at 11.65%. And 911 fund, our revenues are at 93.57%. Our expenditures are at 72.63%. Anybody have any questions?
Is that pretty well normed from last year?
Yes. Yes, we're pretty much right on track.
Okay. I don't have it last year. And that's the reason I asked. No extra.
No, sorry.
No extra.
I'm still trying, George.
We wish.
Yeah,
I'm still trying.
I try every day. Yeah. Thanks, Glenna. Appreciate it. First order of business, we'd like to recognize some retiring firefighters, and we want to give them the opportunity for the court to thank them for their service for all these years. At this time, Donnie, Sharon, Tim, y'all will come up.
Yes, she's gonna have her time in a little bit before you reach.
So, just for everybody's knowledge, this is a certificate of retirement. Sharon Bass, Madison County Fire Department, has been recognized for outstanding achievement and having served faithfully and honorably with Madison County Fiscal Court and the Madison County Fire Department. Appreciate the service. Donnie, same thing. And I have to say that this one here, we grew up together, went to school together, so Appreciate you, man.
Y'all.
Appreciate
Sharon, thank you. Donnie.
Hey, guys. Congratulations. Y'all will. Maybe get in behind. Everybody should stand in.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Stand in behind us so we just get a picture of the official court. Hey, how about this? I like things to be some man.
So had you planned better, Judge, you two could be retired right now?
Yeah.
Did you ever think about that?
Yeah.
Sharon, don't look like you're so upset about retiring.
Perfect, thank you.
Been giggles all morning.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Good luck in future endeavors.
Surely you thought about that.
She's been retired, so she's been firefighter.
Yeah. 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 Only if, you know what if, right? Yeah.
That life ain't changed.
Next is Scott Shepherd. We got to go over the bids that we put out for the road department.
I guess we need to do each one of these individually. So the first recommendation I have is for asphalt, and we recommend awarding the bid to the Allen Company Incorporated. That will include both the price that they gave us for laying the blacktop and a pickup price for us picking it up at the plant.
Scott, what was the bid on land it in place? Were any some?
What is,
For the product or for laying it?
Land it in place.
I think it was 60
Nine.
something, what time? 60. I think it was 66.
Give me just a second, Larry, and we'll get you
That's all
exact
right.
here. Base price per ton laid is $76.75. That's what them putting it
76.
down.
A little higher than last year.
Yeah, it was $69.80 last
Okay,
year.
there you
That's probably due to fuel.
Are you looking at the pickup price there too, Scott?
Pickup price will be, $53.75 a ton for base and $55.50 a ton
go.
for surface. And let me correct what I said on that price, because I see here it's better broken down. Base or surface laid by Allen Company will be $68.40. So it's actually come down a little over $1 since last year.
Yeah, I thought it was in the 60s. I'm glad you,
Yes. Well, no, it was not the only bid.
Did you have several people to bid that?
We had, I think, two bids.
I know some old 25, they were for different companies. They were doing a good job.
Yeah. The other,
I'm not seeing them in the county.
the other company was hired that we accepted the bid from, and Allen Company just done us such a great job over the years, and they've always been super competitive and timely, and it's just really hard to beat their service.
They've hired a lot of our workers.
They had, but at least they got good trained men.
That's right. Thank you, Scott.
all right, so we're gonna.
Make a motion to accept that bid.
I'll second that.
Second bid will be for rock. We also.
Hang on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So, you're making the motion to
To accept the
to
asphalt.
accept the asphalts laid and picked up by the Allen Company.
Okay.
Just for the minutes.
You got that?
Yeah, thanks. So no discussion, call the roll, Kenny. Thanks.
Master Bucking?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barker? Master Tudor?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. All right, Scott.
The second one is for rock, and generally we pick all of our rock up now, unless we're needing bulk. But we also recommend that we award the bid to the Allen Company Incorporated. It's the closest to us. Seem to always, again, give us great service.
Did we have any other bidders on it?
No,
Yeah,
we did not.
Which is hard when they're the only rock quarry.
Yeah, I mean, when they were this close.
Yeah,
Well, Vulcan's close, but they're not in the county.
yeah.
Does the price vary depending on the size of the rock?
It does.
Okay.
Yep. There's like 14 different prices in here. I can give them all to you if you want them. You interested in hearing them?
Not necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, we get have copies of this if you need them.
If you just want to share one with us, then it's great or something like that.
CSB all the way up to riprap, you're looking at anywhere from $9.25 a ton to $15.55 a ton.
So do I have a motion and a second to approve the Allen Company as our winning our rock bids?
I move we award the bid to the Allen Company for the rocks.
Second.
If there's no discussion, call the roll, please.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Master Buckett?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. All right, next.
Next one is bulk oil and grease, and we recommend awarding it to Apollo Oil. We've had Apollo Oil for the last couple of years. They've done a great job. They have all their equipment at our facility, and we've had zero problems out of them, and their price is really competitive. So we recommend
And they were the low,
Apollo Oil.
they were the low bidder.
They were correct.
Because there was another bidder on it, yep.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Master Buckett?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next.
Concrete, we are gonna recommend rejecting the bid. We only received one bid on concrete, and we would like to put it out for bids again. We feel like that there's potential to have better pricing and better availability.
Guys, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Master Buckett?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next, Scott.
The next one got very confusing for a lot of people, I think. It's fuel. And we're actually gonna recommend rejecting the bids and put it out for bid again. I would like to emphasize, we had bids, but there was companies where we didn't clarify that they had to provide the tanks, pumps, and equipment for us to buy fuel from them. So there was a large gap, large difference in price. I noticed that and contacted all the companies myself and talked with them, and some companies did understand and was willing to provide it. The other companies wanted to rebid it due to not knowing that they had to provide the tanks and the service. So I think it's the only
Fair thing.
fair thing to do
Yeah.
is to just reject the bids that we got, come up with a more formal, detailed bid sheet of what we require, and then rebid it.
Yep.
Scott, what, I don't, and I'm sure you've looked at this, but would it be feasible, but if the county bought a diesel tank, a gas, whatever tanks and had them in place?
Well, we would have to have 6 tanks,
Oh,
because
God.
we have 3 different types of fuel at each location. We've got 2 locations. And then you get into 6 pumps. And then what we've found out over the years, servicing those pumps get very expensive, because those
Okay.
pumps are not cheap. So I think it would be in the county's best interest, probably for the fuel provider to provide that equipment so that we can get that extra maintenance cost.
Well, I figured you'd wait it out, that's just a question. That's all.
Sure, it was a great question, yeah.
not to mention the potential for EPA nightmare.
Correct, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Which all of ours are above ground tanks,
Yeah.
but you still got leak potential there, and it could get very costly.
But they're inside a containment area.
Correct.
Yeah.
I move we reject and rebid.
Second then.
So we got a first, a motion, and a second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Master Buckin?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. All right, Scott?
The next one will be culverts. We recommend putting this out for bid against. We had no bids for culverts. So, the only thing we know to do is to put it out, advertise it, put it out for bid again, and see if we can get someone to bid on
Were these requests put in the paper?
it. In the paper and on the website.
On the website, yeah.
That's the two
And
places.
that's
they are.
normally where we receive bids from those ads and.
Oh, that's all.
Yep.
You could have four or
So-
five.
So the recommendation is to make, to rebid the culverts.
Correct.
I move we repost the bids for the culvert.
Second.
No discussion, call the roll.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Master Buckin?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes.
Thank
Thanks,
y'all so
Scott.
much.
Appreciate it. Yep. Next on the agenda is second reading of ordinance 1706. Fiscal Court 2017-18 budget.
You just keep doing
Judge, on the
Yeah.
one we've got, our
Got
agenda's
Doug
for
Thomas in like
Okay, next on the agenda is we want to talk to Doug. Yeah, come up,
I
Doug.
was fixing to make a move here, but
Yeah.
went back down. Guess we're here today to talk about our population that we have in our facility over here. Monday morning when I came in, we had 428 people, with 20 of those people in Clay County. That left me a number of 408. Today we have 422, have 400, I think it's 421. I have 401 in here and 20 still in Clay County. And I talked with Reagan the other day about possibly getting rid of all our state inmates. And I think we have talked about this before. I'm thinking maybe a year or so ago that we had talked about, would it be feasible to not hold state inmates, just to get rid of all the state inmates and not even food inmates? Well, I think we get $31.34 a day per inmate. And Katie and I were doing some numbers yesterday in Glenna. We were talking about, and I think we came to about 2369,
but not including like the one-time cost. Whenever they're booked in, they also are provided a pair of underwear that's approximately $5, an indigent kit per week for the ones that don't have money, and that's $3 a week. And then there's also other fees that we have to provide for them. So that $23.69 was like every day you can count on that, and then there's some one-time costs associated. Plus, if they have larger medical bills or go to the hospital or things like that, those can get pretty costly as well. So the $23.69 is just a base for what it would cost every day. You can count on that cost.
The thing about state inmates too is that we're not, if we go to the per diem a day we were talking about, we're not allowed to charge them the per diem a day because they're a state inmate.
Or a booking fee.
Or a booking fee. If they come in as a state inmate, we're not allowed to charge the booking fee either. And with all that said, we have a 184 bed facility, and we have 401 people in there. And we just can't function. We just can't operate that way. It's very dangerous for us, everybody over there, for this overcrowding that we have. Right now, I think we have about 82 state inmates. And, I wanted to come over here today to open it up for discussion or to talk about it. What do you all think?
Well, Doug, I had a
do also.
conversation with you yesterday over in there, and I see where you're coming from, and I'll be the first to say I'd hate to lose that revenue, but after talking to you, you take the difference of what we're paying outside to house people and what we're getting for state inmates. What is it, $5 difference?
No, it costs us $30 to Clay County.
Okay, and
And
if
you
you,
get 31.4 for a state inmate.
well, so, it's a washout.
It's kind of close to a wash.
Well, it's not a wash because you gotta look at your total for the year. I mean, we generated 552,000, I think, in revenue of housing state inmates this year, and we've spent out roughly 250. So, I mean, you're talking about a $250,000 difference. I mean, when you're comparing, yeah, I understand when you're comparing what we're getting state inmate plus what it's costing us to house others, but you said it just a minute ago, you got 82 state inmates over there and you only had 28, is that what you said?
20 in Clay County.
20 in Clay County, and that was just the other day. Now, there's been times this past year that you've probably had maybe 40 out, and maybe we only had 30 state inmates.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's just sort of weighing it out. I mean, sometimes you're gonna have more than others.
We increased the contracted inmate housing $100,000 for
I'm
this
sorry?
year. Like last year was
Yeah.
budgeted 230 and this year's 330.
Yep.
But with numbers in the 400s, I doubt that 100,000 extra will cover it, you
Yeah.
know, so then you're,
When we raised it this past year,
right.
you know, and we knew we were gonna go over, and which we didn't go over this year, nowhere near to the 330, but we were just anticipating when we did the budget to make sure that, hey, let's have enough. And so, you know, I mean, if,
Well, there's
But none of
probably
us are
been
gonna be
no
able to see the
cost in
future.
there for transport, and that's a
I'm
big
sorry?
cost. There's been no cost, I guess.
no,
for
there's no,
transporting, and, you know, that has to be a big cost.
That cost is gonna be falling on us, nobody's thought about it.
I figured you'd come in.
You know, we don't have the money budget to be paying the extra cost, so that's gonna have to be a consideration.
but you transport these inmates, don't you? You're,
Not
If we-
for court.
If we house, if I call Clay County and have them house our inmates, we'll transport those inmates.
Yeah.
Those, that, yes, we will do
So
that.
when they come back to court, and you take them down, and they come back to court, are you gonna be transported?
Just like when they, just say we don't hold state inmates, that we get rid of all state inmates, if they have a court appearance, yes, then that fall on Mike, the sheriff's department.
But if they're state, they have been convicted and sentenced.
Correct.
So there's typically not a whole lot of court appearances, are there, after the sentencing?
There's not a lot, Mark, there is some, there's not a lot, some of them will go to the prisons with the holders. There's not a lot of them, but there is a few.
Who would be willing to house these state inmates?
Well, the state has to take them back. If I opt out of the program,
So they go to the state, corrections then?
yes.
Or they put them somewhere else?
Well, I was just trying to figure how much transportation and the distance we would have to be.
Again, I would write a letter to the Department of Corrections stating that I wish to opt out of the program. And when I say the program, it's holding state inmates in our facility here, working them if we're able, if we have places for them to work. Then they would come and get them. And it would be, and if next week, if we have a sentencing of state inmates and then we have 10 sentenced next week, then they would have to come and get them. I haven't spoken with them yet directly about how that happens or how that would work.
but tell how all this came about, as far as, I guess, them coming and getting.
Well, they called, Department of Corrections called and said they wanted to get our Class Ds, wanted level 1 and 2s that can work, right?
Well, we were trying to get rid of some state inmates because of our population. We call it Department of Corrections, which like a lot of jails do, they'll put it on email, you know, Laurel County does it, I'm overpopulated, come, anybody need state inmates? So, we sent out, we called or sent an email, I can't remember which one we did, but they said we could come and get about 10 or 12 of those, but they're gonna be the Class D inmates that are eligible for the work programs, because other jails have bed space available for those inmates. Well, I have some of those inmates working now, and I don't wanna lose them. If you're gonna take some of the others, but they wouldn't do that. They just had bed space available for the ones that can work, not bed space for just a state inmate. That's how all that happened. So this is where we're at with that. And again, the reason I'm here today is because we have 400 and something people in the jail. It just don't work. It just don't work. With that said, if you got rid of every state inmate we had today, it'd be 82. I think it's what we have right now. Sure, we hate to lose the revenue, but we got to look at everything else too, of how we're stacking people on top of people over there. It's not good for none of us. especially the inmates that are there and the people that work there.
Ever since I've been here, I've always been told that we need the state inmates to help pay the bills, the ones that's not, we got getting paid for. That might be narrowing to where it's not as much as it used to be. But I understand, it's not a matter of, how much money you lose. You're emphasizing that it's just the overcrowding.
3 years ago, if we had 280, 290, we thought that was crowded.
Mm.
We thought that was getting really crowded. Now it's just,
I don't know how you do it.
Thanks to the staff I have that takes care of it. Sure, we have some issues over there with fighting, and you're gonna have with this overcrowding that we have. The officers that work for me, they do a great job. That's what keeps us all together. And knock on wood, we haven't had any serious problems, any right issues or anything like that. With some of the people that we house over there, that are with a lot of serious crimes over there. Again, you have 200 and some odd 20 or 30 people on the floor. Sleeping on the floor. And we're just so overcrowded that we can't even get Kenny Davis to come in, the preacher, because we don't have any room for him to go, you know, to come in and talk to these people. It's very difficult. Again, we have 184 bed and 400 something people in there. Very dangerous.
Well, you'd be lost next Monday if you come in and only got 200 and something.
It'd be great. It'd be great.
So what about, I mean, taking more of our county inmates to Clay County?
Nobody wants them, they can't house them. Nobody's got any more room. That's where you put this state thing out that I would send state
They'll take
inmates.
states,
Please?
but they'll take states, but they don't have no room.
They have to. If we opt out of the program, they have to come and get their state inmates. We are opting out of the
State,
program.
the state has to come get it.
Right.
The state has to come and get them because we're opting out of the program. So again, if we have more sentencings next week, state inmates, then they have to come and get those also.
But you're saying that no other county jails?
I can call Clay County today, ask if they can take the prisoners, no, because they're full. Franklin County's full, Casey County, you know, everybody's full, so to speak. Now, how full are they? I don't know. But all the jails are overcrowded. Now, with that said, they did have some bed space available for Class D inmates, state inmates, but not for regular state inmates. But if I opt out of the program, then the state has to come and get their people, their inmates. Now, where they put them, their business, but they have to come and get them for us because we're opting out of the program.
But we would be responsible for transport back if there was a case here in Madison with them.
Yes. To the best of my knowledge, yes. I mean, I haven't checked into that yet, but I think so.
So if they're considered a state inmate,
And they go
And
western
then-
Kentucky, we got to go down there and.
we have to go get them back for court date, or the state would, because they're state inmates at that point. Why would we have to pay for
That's
transport?
something, and I'm pretty sure we have to. That's something I'd check into and see for sure. Like I said, I haven't contacted Kirsty Willard, about this. I've talked with John, our jail inspector, about this, but we haven't went into details yet. I have not because I want to come over here first.
All right, so the next question is where are we gonna come up with $520,000?
Well, aside from the budget, aside from the money issue, we don't have enough information to make a decision one way or another, whether we opt out or not to opt out. We've got to have, I need way more facts than what we're looking at right now today for it.
But you just came over just to kind of.
Get it out here and open for everybody.
I mean, we're gonna have to guesstimate transportation costs on state inmates. I don't care where you put them, pick a neutral place, but there's still some, we're gonna have to do a lot more figuring what we've got right now.
But we wouldn't be picking the place. I mean, it's not like we can ask them
I
where
know,
they.
but I'm just saying, for an
Right.
estimate purposes of it, pick a
Right.
neutral place, pick somewhere right in the center of the state, I don't care. But just get some kind of mileage, something that we can guesstimate on.
Right.
You know, we may be way off, but they may put them over there in Lexington for all we know.
Yeah.
Mark, how often do they come back to court after they're sentenced?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't imagine transportation costs being a huge factor.
It won't
Because
be
they
a
don't
huge
become a
factor.
state inmate until they're
Once
sentenced.
they become a state inmate, why do we transport?
Because it's not, like a lot of other
And
things.
oftentimes what happens is if you've got a state prisoner and we have something pending in district court, we try every which way in the world that we can to avoid actually bringing the inmate back here we'll continue a case, we'll try to do something else, try to push it to where they're out. Of course, there's some problems with that, but we tried to avoid that as much as we can.
Hey.
Hurry up, get my coffee.
I think that's something that we need to spend some time talking
Anybody
about.
need coffee?
I said that, I think that's something we need to spend some more time with you.
Sure, yes. And again, I just came out here today just to get it out open for everybody to
Have something to think about in the
Yes.
future, but, I think you and Katie need to get together and get some more information, bring to us, and have some detailed facts on what it's gonna cost us. And
Well, the only thing
what the
we can do
benefits,
is-
What's the disadvantages of, not having state inmates.
Again, the only thing that we can do is find out who's responsible for gonna get the state inmate. If it's us, then it's us. But when it comes all down to it, guys, when it comes down to it, it's the numbers too. That we got 400 something people in jail. We got 184 bed facility.
Katie, do you know how many misdemeanor sentences are being served right now?
Without a felony,
Just misdemeanor
just
sentences.
misdemeanors, off the top of my head, I would say maybe 20%.
It's not a big number.
So the balance then are felony cases that are pending
Right. There's
trial.
several child support, and some of them are felony child support, some of them are misdemeanor, but, you know, and that's a good point, but like say that they are there for 7 days, within that 7-day period, we're gonna get, you know, that
No.
double that many in. So that's how our numbers
Thank you,
keep
Keith.
growing, because even though they'll release 10 people today, they'll book in 16.
Be next week.
So it's just like a,
But you don't have a whole lot of state prisoners, you don't have a lot of county prisoners, most of them are going to be over there pending trial.
We have 82 state prisoners right now.
which is high for us. We haven't had that number, I mean, that's a lot for us.
So if we get rid of 82, we're still looking at 340 housing.
320 in-house.
Three something.
320 with a revolving door of another 80 if 20% of them are misdemeanors.
And it was just maybe like
another
a month
80%
ago, we
down.
got down to 360 something. And it was really nice, like it was we had a little bit of room, which we thought that whenever we got to 300, we'd all lose our minds, you know. And then now at 360, it's, okay, we can work with this. Within the next week, it was 380, then like Doug said, Monday, 408, like when's enough enough, you know? And while we're contemplating this and talking about this, they're lined up around back right now. You know, it's just, time is of the essence.
It's tough. It really is to manage this over here. We're, you know, again, my hands off to my employees, the officers over there. It's difficult, and do I want to lose the revenues? No. But again, we look at the numbers. I mean, it's there. They're inside this facility. I got 215 or 20, 30 people sleeping on the floor. It's tough over there. I don't want to lose the revenue. What do we do? That's the reason I'm here today. Get out here, everybody think about it.
I've heard you say for 3 years the jail is bankrupt, this sooner or
Yeah,
later.
we-
We're heading in that direction, looks
Yeah,
like.
we're close. But you know, Mike pulled this up on, and of course, I'm sure we're gonna have a county attorney to check in to see who is responsible for transport. But everything I read here, it calls right back to the sheriff.
Yep.
So, Mark, could you
Well, sure, I mean, I can tell you that it's gonna be on the sheriff.
even if they're state prisoners?
Right, but the thing is, I don't see a whole lot of transportation cost after you have a felon sentenced. Most of the court appearances are done, that's what's led to the conviction and to the sentencing. So that's, I mean, there'd be some burden, but I don't see that as the primary
With
issue.
those 82 that you're talking about, excuse me, are they eligible now to go, the been
Yes.
sentenced? We just get a big greyhound type of.
They're eligible. Again, I haven't talked to Department of Corrections on this. I want to come over here first to talk, all of us talk about it, see where we need to go or what we need to do.
But I think, and please don't let me speak for you, but I think the jailer's point is that if he opts out of the state program, we're not gonna have these state inmates here. So we're not gonna be transporting them because we're gonna say, we don't want them, you come get them, they're yours, put them somewhere else, it's not our responsibility.
Right, and they have to, because I'm opting out of the program.
This is a voluntary thing that he's done. And quite frankly, it's made sense for many years because of the revenue involved, but if it gets to the point where the math doesn't make sense, or the liability compared to the math doesn't make sense,
Right.
then, you know, but I think it's a good discussion. I don't know where I fall on it, and I don't know it anyway, but I do think it's a good discussion to have, if nothing else.
Well, it's a no-win situation. You're gonna lose the revenue if you get rid of them. But if you don't get rid of them, you're still gonna have overcrowding. Well, you're gonna have that anyway.
Do you know of any other jails that participate in this program, Doug? I mean, they got rid of the state inmates?
No.
Nobody overcrowded as much as we are.
Maybe Louisville. I think we fall maybe third or fourth.
Yeah, but there are several. I saw an actual report got sent out the other day. Showed all the county jails in the state. And, I mean, all of them.
Yeah, everybody's
Yeah,
crowded.
this is not a local
It's
problem.
all of them
I mean,
are crowded.
County probably leads.
But everybody has an issue. Some have obviously more state inmates than what they have county inmates. Of course, those are a revenue stream for them, you know.
You take Fayette County houses 1,100 or 1,200 people. Well, if they're 300 or 400 over, they can handle it better because they have so many more areas to put them in their facility because they're so big. Again, we're 184 beds and we're 200 and something over, and we don't have a lot of space to put them.
Yeah, I think I need some more information, and I also think that I mean, Katie, you said there a month ago or something there's 360. 4 months ago, we had thought that we'd have gotten down to 360. I wouldn't have. And so, you know, I know it fluctuates in some, and so I want to make sure that some of these counties aren't going to maybe get some free space, you know, over the next week or so. And maybe we can continue to try to see if there's other counties out there that have some space that would accept some of our inmates over the next court to the next court meeting, and see if we can free up some relief without giving up our state inmates. Then maybe y'all can we can find out some of the transportation questions, what some of these things that we've had questions today on, some answers to them. Is that good?
I don't think we've got any more full moons this month, so hopefully it won't get worse.
Yeah. Good.
If we had some basic numbers on how much money it was gonna cost us to get rid of the state inmates, Doug, I mean, you know, that would really help us make a decision on what we need
Are
to
you
do.
talking about mostly transportation, like the money
Well,
to get rid of them, or?
How much money we're gonna lose by not having the $31 a day coming in for them?
Well, you can basically look at the projected revenue for this next year, which is 520,000.
Yeah, which that's a little low. I mean, this year's 552. I think is what you told me the other day, wasn't it? 552.
That's what we collected this past year.
But
Yeah.
that's gross, right?
I'm sorry?
That's a gross number. I think
Yeah.
everybody needs a net number.
Yeah.
What the revenue is compared to the expenses that we're incurring and keeping them. I think
Well,
that's
if you
the
just
number.
take
That's
like
the number I'm
$20, like
looking
say
for,
$7, it's, I'm just using rough numbers, like the 2369, if you do that at 24, and I can't get into your
I don't
phone
know.
But then you have other costs as well.
Well, that's right, you have
Right. I mean, I think the court probably, if they want to truly analyze this, they've got to have every number coming in, going out, and just being able to look at it as, first of all, as a cost analysis, and then as a safety and potential liability analysis. But you have to have the net number. You just can't have a revenue number.
That's right, but for conversations purposes for today, like the $7, like I was saying, that is probably the maximum that we're making on one per day. Now, that's the maximum of the basic necessities, like they give us the 31.34 and it costs us 23.69. So roughly $7 per day, which is not counting their one-time cost that I was talking. That sounds minimal, like the $3 a week per indigent kid, and then the underwear, and then if they have any, you know, hospital runs or things like that. So basically $7 a day for one, which would be, you know, 365 days, 2,100, I don't know, say 2,500 a year. 25.
It's about 153,000. If you did
Just
based on about
basic,
60
just
state
for
inmates,
today's
because right now we've got
conversation.
more than we usually do. We've got 82. But if you base it on 60 state inmates, it's $7 per day, times 365 days, it's about 153,000 that would be losing. For the difference between the 31.34 and the 23.69.
Well, that's not exactly right. I mean,
No,
you're gonna have
it's
the
not.
same. You're gonna have the
It's
same
not.
electric
Just
bills. You're gonna have the same heat bills, gas bills. I mean, you're
All
gonna
the
have,
things you
you're gonna
save
have a lot
on
of the
is
same
food.
bills. You'd save a little on
That's the
food.
cheapest thing we got right now.
Well, plus isn't there some portion, we don't know what it is, but some portion of a fuel cost? Not to mention, it's not just fuel cost, it's fuel cost plus manpower, plus vehicles, plus wear and tear, there's over.
And would you lose any staff if you, would you need less staff if you lost 82 state inmates?
Still puts us 300 some odd people.
So you don't really,
It wouldn't be.
You don't
And
really
you're still
save
gonna run the air
anything there.
conditioner, You're still gonna have lights on,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I mean, some of those costs are just fixed costs. I mean,
Right.
they're gonna be costs whether you got 400 or 300.
That's right.
So you can't really take that stuff out. It's still gonna have.
Well, again, for me, I just thought I'd share it with you today and let you know our numbers and again, discuss it and, let you know, that, like Mark said, the liability of the overcrowding.
Yeah, we need to look at it.
I understand the monies, I totally understand the money, but I work over there, I know what's going on. And it's the numbers. It's
Can I
crazy.
make a suggestion?
Hmm?
This is an excellent opportunity to form a committee, which you charge that committee with coming back with a decision on
The
what
recommendation
we've
of what-
discussed today. Because basically what you're saying is the reward worth the risk? Yes or no? We're not gonna make it bounce, we're not gonna come out ahead either way, but we've got a jail that's way too full of people, and we're taking a certain amount of risk, housing that many people to gain this revenue. So, I mean, that would be, do you wanna name who that committee is, or take volunteer? I mean,
Well, at some,
that's a suggestion.
yeah,
I mean,
appreciate
to
it.
put-
At some point, I mean, obviously, when you throw in that other counties don't have room for our county inmates to where we can sort of juggle state between county, I mean, that's something we've never really, or that I know of, we've ever really had to deal with. We've always been able to have counties that would take our state inmates, or take our county inmates. So it allows us.
State too, and they can't take state now.
But what happens, I mean, the state's in the same boat as far as not having room, so, I mean, even if we opt out of that program,
They have to get them out. They have to, where they take them, their business. I'm not gonna ask them, 'cause I don't care,
but you know that for a fact, that they have to come and
they
get
have
them,
to, you opt out of the program, they have to come get them.
even if they don't have a place to take them.
They'll find a place.
On a felony conviction and sentence, it's the state's responsibility.
Okay.
The counties have agreed to do this in order to take a little pressure off of the state, and also to generate some revenue, but it's absolutely a state function.
Yeah.
But it's not their responsibility to transport.
Well, I
You
don't
have to
think
come
we know
back.
that.
Right, if you have a local charge on them, went to the state.
Yeah. Okay. All right, thanks, Doug.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I hope you feel
Good
better,
discussion.
but I'm sure you don't.
No, I don't have it down right now, but we'll talk, we got it out in the open, we'll discuss it and.
Thank you, Doug. Okay.
Next, Glennon, second reading of ordinance 1706, fiscal court 2017-18 budget.
The only change, and you have a copy of the second reading of the budget, the only change was the jail went down $25,477. The salaries were adjusted to 2.8%. That was the only change that we had. The raises that we're gonna be giving on the jail.
Yeah, so basically what that boils down to is that with the recommendations that the jailer had on raises with his staff, we took our average, what we gave as a raise, and we took all those individuals, employees, and it's just lumped in, so.
Yeah, so the
So
total
then-
equaled 25,477.
So then Doug, as the jailer, he can break that amount up however he wants to as far as raises go.
So how it adjusted out, it also affected the general fund because that was that 25 less that the general fund was going to transfer to the jail fund.
Yeah.
So then when you take it back to the general fund, the reserve in the general fund raised up 25,477.
Right.
But that was the only change between first reading and second reading.
What does that make the total budget this year?
The total budget is
The general,
$73,299,014.
That's counting CSEP and everything.
Yes, sir.
yeah, that, you wanna know the breakdown?
$73,299,014.
Nineteen being counted,
20.
20.
$20,620,000 is county, is general fund. Road.
$20,026,097. You still got the first reading.
See,
I don't know what it is.
44.
I just got a budget in front of me.
It's okay. 20,026. It's on the Dropbox. $20,026,097 is the general fund. 3,302,468 is the road fund. 3,198,234 is the jail fund. 523,500 is LGEA money. $44,351,390 is CSEP, and $1,897,325 is 911.
What was last year?
Last year was.
I don't wanna put you on the spot.
No, I've got it right here. It was.
You think it's just been 12 months ago, I can remember.
But
It's about 18
$18
million.
million.
Yeah, it was. I've got them all broke down
A
between the
little
funds.
over 18 million.
Yeah. 19. It was actually 19,873,463 for the general fund. So now we're up to 20,026,000. And that fluctuates a lot with what grants are passing through, you know.
Well, I think it's a great budget, especially the times we're in with state mandates, with revenues either being stagnant or continuing to decrease. Appreciate Glenna and all of our department heads and staff for their due diligence in really getting our budget down, saving money, working hard for it. So I appreciate everybody's due diligence on this year's budget, and hope we continue the same mindset in the future, and hopefully we can increase some revenues in places to help us. At this time, I need a motion, a second, to approve the second reading of our budget, our fiscal court budget 2017-18. It's ordinance 1706.
So move.
Second.
Glenn, do you foresee any transfer ins other than to the jail fund?
Transfers from the general fund to
Yeah.
we
That's-
actually have budgeted. We have budgeted for the general fund to transfer
You talking about this?
to the
budget?
road fund. It'll go at 912,453 in this next year's budget. That's a budgeted amount from the general fund to the road fund.
What about to the jail fund?
And then the jail fund is $1,964,534.
Is that pretty close to what we budgeted in this year for?
This year was like $1,750,000
So
for
it's a
the
little bit
jail,
more.
and last year I think was $700,000 for the road. So both of them are just a little bit more than what they were.
Thank you.
So we got a motion and a second. No more discussion. Call the roll, please.
Master Barger,
Yes.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Master Bodkin,
Yes.
Master Combs,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Next is second reading ordinance 1707. This is a budget amendment on the family court building. I am proud to say, to announce to the court that we are the new owners of the family court building. Over here, we actually closed it this last Friday. So, Glenna, this is your budget amendment, $6,772,494.20.
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason we have to, even though the money actually is put into a U.S. bank account and it's dispersed out of an escrow account, we have to account for it in our budget. So we have to have it coming in as bond sale proceeds and going back out as the purchase of the family court building. So this is just to get it in our current budget so that we can account for it in our financials.
Well, that, excuse me, that rate was very low, right?
It actually ended up being about 0.5% less when they did the bond sale. These numbers were estimated on I think it was like 2.7. It ended up being right at 2.2 when the bond sale happened.
Maybe we need to quote one for the jail.
It saved quite a bit over the
Oh,
course of
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Well, 2% of that amount is a lot of money.
Well, of course, we opted to go with a 15-year bond. It saved us a little over $1 million in just that 5-year period between 15 and 20. And then, obviously, when the bond sale happened and the interest rate came in at like 2.2, I think it saved us roughly another $20,000 a year, roughly, in payments.
And that is locked in, right?
Yes, well, that 2.2 is the average,
Yeah.
with these bonds, 1 year it might be low and then 1 year it's high, but it's the average.
But it's set.
It's set.
You can
Okay,
see what it's
okay.
gonna be the whole time.
Yeah, because 1 year you may pay a little more, and the
Yeah.
next year you may
Yes.
pay less, but it's gonna average it.
Right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. So I need a motion and a second for the second reading of ordinance 1707. This is the budget amendment on the family court bond.
So move.
Second.
No more discussion, call the roll.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Master Bakker?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes. Next is second reading of ordinance 1708. It's a Madison County drug policy. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning. Yeah, there has not been any changes from the first reading to the second reading.
I need a motion and a second to approve ordinance 1708, Madison County drug policy.
Judge, I move that we approve ordinance 1708, Madison County Drug Policy, second reading.
Thanks, Tom. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? If no discussion, call the roll, please.
Master Bakker?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Tudor?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next is resolution 1717. This is a fiscal court employee classification schedule. These are just updates to our classification schedule.
Yes, and then you'll see
Rachel.
next to any ones that have been changed, there's a note section. And that it'll explain either why there was that change or if there was a position added or positions that were taken away. Do you all have any questions on the classification schedule?
So this is final.
What is it?
This will be final when we do this. The
Yes.
classification. I mean, we've
Yeah.
had discussions on this several times.
Well, it could change. I mean, if there's a recommendation like next fiscal year to,
Yeah,
to eliminate a position or whatever, but this will be what it is for 17, 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
We like to review it at least once a year.
Yep.
Yeah, I know
That's
we-
the goal.
You know, we've had this conversation several times about, well, I'd like to see this, this, and this. That's the reason I said, okay, I'm hoping that this is it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just kind of like an update you're going to update every so often. I mean, just like your admin code or your drug policy. I mean, there could be some things that change. We might have a better idea of a way to restructure something in a department, and so it might change positions, the titles, those types of things.
Yeah, Colleen and I, we sat down with every single department head and talked through it, and we heard what they wanted and then took it into consideration to make this.
Okay.
Yep.
Need a motion?
Yes.
So move.
So I've got a motion for resolution 1717 approving the fiscal court employee classification schedule. Do I have a second? Tom, second. If there's no discussion, call the roll, please.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Master Bakker?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next, resolution 1718, this is fiscal court employee rate of pay. So this will be the new, approving the raises for all the employees.
And this
Perfect.
process was the exact same as last year's. And so under the movement section where it's highlighted, that's just for the back end on why they received that raise for the letters that will go out for employees.
Y'all have had a chance to look over these, so obviously we go through our classification, our evaluation process.
There is one change on it.
Okay.
Under Barry Smith, the
Mhm.
new total, that should be 1787, not 7887.
I'm sure he's hoping for the 78,
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna be glad to hear that.
Yeah, I need a motion to approve this list.
So
of
moved.
pay raises.
I've been over it.
Second.
Is there any discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Master Burger,
Yes.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Master Buckett.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes, and then there should be another motion.
Yes, there is. For-
After reviewing, there were some discrepancies that, I found, and so there are 4 employees where their amounts are different, so they need to be back paid.
Yeah, we had 4 employees that actually didn't come in according to our classification schedule, and it was, it
One
was
of them was a
mi-
year of service.
it was missed, and we feel that it's the right thing to do would be to reward them for lost pay. So,
It didn't amount to that much, did it?
go ahead, Rachel.
The first one was $5,170.55. The other one is $1,326.75, $271.69, and $343.71.
That one was 5,000?
That was a years of service difference where it was not accounted for last year. So that was the major discrepancy, that he was not started in that years of service line as the minimum pay. He just got skipped.
Yeah.
What department was that in?
There's 2 in the road department, 1 in golf, and 1 in fire. But the big one was in road.
Yep. And I mean, the way I looked at it is you know, we make mistakes just like anybody does, and it shouldn't be the employee's expense, you know, in my opinion. So,
Okay.
the only place I probably would have brought this up is if it was yours,
I know.
if it was your pay,
No,
and we owed you something.
I wouldn't want to either.
Yeah.
We don't bring it for the public anyway. I'll make that motion.
Thanks, Larry. Do I have a second?
Second.
No discussion, call the roll.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Master Buckett.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Burger.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rachel, appreciate it. Next is, Resolution 1719, this is a Knob Lick Bridge funding. I think I've got a resolution. Resolution adopting and approving the execution of a rural secondary program agreement between the Fiscal Court and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid, and accepting all roads and streets referred to therein as being a part of the county road system. This is our 80-20 bridge program that we're wanting to get a low water crossing, in my opinion, is what it is, fixed down at Knob Lick Road. So, Willie?
That's correct. It's this is a picture of the type of structure. That's, of course, it's not, the one we're putting in is probably a third of that size.
Don't hit your phone.
And, that's the latest thing. That's aluminum. Has a 75-year lifespan.
And right now down there, Willie, all it is like 4 or 5 culverts or something, isn't it?
Concrete
Yeah,
culverts.
small
Yeah.
culverts.
They're just small, regular culverts, yeah.
They stop up every time it rains.
Yeah, yeah. And if I'm correct, is that, wasn't there a pretty bad accident that
There
happened
was a
on that?
fatality there several years
Yeah.
back. There was a little girl that drowned there.
Yeah,
They drove through the
Yeah.
water and washed the car off the crossing.
yeah.
Willie, will that have, concrete abutments or does it?
It'll have
require that?
aluminum, it'll have aluminum abutments, wing walls,
Okay.
wing walls.
Then you backfill from there.
Yes.
Okay.
It'll look just like a concrete, same function as a concrete box cover, but this is probably 60% of the cost, 60%.
Is this something new?
It's fairly new. It's new to us, there's none like it in this county.
What is the,
And the benefit of this is we can install this with our equipment, which that large one there has a crane lifting it. We can put ours in with equipment that we have. It's ease of installation, in other words.
Yeah.
If we go with the concrete box cover, which is a lot costlier.
Well, you pour some concrete footings,
It'll be
under
set-
the
yes,
edges,
yes,
right?
Yes, it'll set on concrete.
Concrete, yeah, because if not, it could undermine it if you don't
Yes.
have some kind of,
Does it have a bottom in it?
Yes, it has a bottom.
yeah.
what's the tonnage strength on that?
It was hard to nail down a posting to put on it, but they assured me that it was stronger, was heavier than the rating of the road itself.
And what's the opening gonna be?
It's an 18-foot 2-inch span with a 4-foot 7-inch rise. And of course, it's 20 feet wide.
That shouldn't get stopped up.
I look forward to seeing it installed. It's gonna be in my district down there, and I know they've had trouble with those covers stopping.
Once we place the order, it's maybe 30 to 40 days build time, and then they say to install that is from 2 to 5 days.
Yeah.
That should eliminate that road from being blocked with water for probably 99% of the time.
It's a little narrow
Because
road.
now with even the bridge between us and Estill County, the road still gets blocked when it rains.
Because we just put a new bridge about a quarter mile down the road a couple of years ago. If this one's blocked, it didn't help get the new bridge in.
No, you're still blocked.
Yeah.
And then the projected cost on this is a little less than 75,000.
Yeah. I think we got, I think it's 80, 60.
Our part probably.
I think our part's, 60,
Our-
yeah, not to exceed 60. Is the state's part, so ours will be the difference.
Yes.
15,000.
Yep.
About 15.
Yep.
Need a motion?
Yeah, I need a motion to, accept resolution 1719, allowing me to sign the agreement with the state to get the 80/20 bridge money.
So moved.
I second
That probably
You
wouldn't
should.
work down there.
that.
in
I
Hayes
should.
Falls.
I second that. I said it.
One of these.
They'd probably have to do some water studies on it.
I mean, it's not my district, it's Tom's.
No, it's mine.
Oh, is it yours?
It's covered is, yeah.
No, I'm talking about
Oh.
Hayes Falls.
Oh. We're on cover
You
it.
want him down
I know,
the
but I asked him, would that work down there?
Don't want them making that big.
What are you talking about? What's the distance you said that was gonna be? What's the distance on this one?
It's 18-foot, 2-inch, 18-2.
Width.
4-7. But that's nowhere near large enough for that bridge.
Close.
So I have a motion and a second. Do we have any more discussion? If not, call the roll.
Master Bucket,
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Barker.
Yes.
Master Tudor.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Willie. Appreciate it. Next is appointment to the EKU Center Operations Board. At this time, I would like to recommend the reappointment of Harry Mobley to the EKU Center for the Arts Community Operations Board.
So moved.
Second.
If there's no discussion, call the roll, please.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Master Barker.
Yes.
Master Tudor.
Yes.
Master Bucket.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Flipping lights back on. We're holding a fiscal court meeting in the dark.
I thought we were doing good, Judge.
Yeah.
All time, didn't you?
We've been having a hard time writing, but other than that, I thought we were doing good.
Chief, next is firefighter. You have two recommendations to court today for hiring firefighters.
Yes, sir, I do. I have, first recommendation is Mr. Thomas Sanders. He's almost 150 hours certified. We're gonna bring him in as a firefighter one at $7.25 an hour. His start date will be 6:30.
And the guys, this is
And
Mr.
you-
Sanders right here, so we asked him to come in so y'all can put a name with a face.
Looks like a good firefighter to me.
We're gonna work with him, make him better.
He's a tall cup of coffee.
So do I have a motion, a second to accept hiring Thomas Sanders as one of our new firefighters?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Master Barker.
Yes.
Master Tudor.
Yes.
Master Bucket.
Yes.
Master Combs.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes, thanks, Thomas, appreciate it. Next, Chief.
The next one we'd like to recommend is Mr. Michael Todd. He's got his IFSAC 1 and 2 and his hazmat awareness and operations. We'd like to bring him in as a firefighter 3, $8 an hour, and his start date would be 6/29. And just for the court's information, both applicants do live in the county.
And here's Mr. Todd here, so y'all put a name with a face.
Move we hire Mike Todd at $8 an hour.
Second.
No discussion, call the roll.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Master Biken?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes.
Welcome to both.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate you being here. Welcome
Thank
aboard,
you.
all right? Next on the agenda is executive session. At this time, I need to ask court's permission to go into executive session. I need a motion, a second.
So
Judge,
moved.
I'm sorry.
And that's a
what's the basis
personnel.
for that?
Personnel.
Second.
It was coming.
All right.
Yeah, it was coming.
Keep him in
So
mind.
moved.
So, we have a motion?
Second.
Second? Call the roll, please.
Master Biken?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. All right. Larry made the motion, Roger seconded, to come out of executive session. At this time, call the roll, please.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Master Biken?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Guys, at this time, there's no action needed. No action to be taken. Next on the agenda is to pay the claims for the end of 16-17 budget. You all realize every year that we approve any kind of last expenditures that need to get done before the June 30th. And then obviously whatever those are, we will bring those to the first fiscal court meeting in July on a separate list of what things that we had to pay for.
Are you gonna have several transfers, you think, to end the year out?
No, I don't think so. Just anything that comes up that we really want to pay out of last year, we can get paid by June
Okay.
30th. It should be a short list. It's usually not that long. but-
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we're expecting any transfers. If there is, I mean, it'd be
No.
minimal.
No, just if we had to pay something, we had to transfer it because of the payment.
Yeah, yeah. So I need a motion, a second, to go ahead and pay those claims.
So moved.
Second.
If there's no more discussion, call the roll.
Master Barger?
Yes.
Master Tudor?
Yes.
Master Biken?
Yes.
Master Combs?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. The first thing I want to do today, as my judge's report, is I want to recognize Bill. You know, I appreciate, as a young, new elected leader of the county, you know, you were very good to me in coming in. You never bashed me too much, too bad. But just what you've meant to the community, your heart has always been here in Madison County. I believe it. You know, I grew up in church with you, and I appreciate you and what you've meant for our community. I also wish you the best. You know, we've had several discussions about you going on with your grandkids, and wish you well there. Hope you have lots of fun with them. And don't forget about us here. And hopefully you'll still at least watch us on YouTube. But I do want to thank you for your service to Madison County and wish you the best in the future. I'd say a lot of elected officials across the board, you know, in other areas don't compare to the relationship that you've had. And I'll speak for these other guys as well, and Doug and Kenny, Darlene, the sheriff, other elected officials. You know, I've never heard any cross word about you. So amazing job, outstanding. So,
Hey, Bill, make a note of that in the paper.
yeah.
Write that article in the paper, Bill, make note of that. Okay.
Well, I like it because what I've read is the truth. That's what I like.
It's been very fair, very honest.
Yep.
Very easy man to work with.
Judge report, Madison County Courthouse and its related offices will be closed Tuesday, July 4th, so a week from today we will not be open, and it'll be to recognize our Independence Day holiday. We will reopen on Wednesday, July the 5th at normal hours, and we'll be back open from 8 to 4:30 on Wednesday, July 5th. Richmond's 4th of July fireworks will be Tuesday, July 4th. That'll be at Lake Reba. Activities begin at 5 p.m. Fireworks start around 10 o'clock. Berea's 4th of July fireworks spectacular will be Tuesday, July 4th as well, and it'll be at the Berea City Park. Activities begin at 6 with fireworks starting at dusk. The Madison Community Band's Independence Day concert will be from 7 until 8 p.m. On July 4th at the Richmond Center. So anybody that wants to go to that and then head out to the fireworks, either Berea or Richmond, they could. There's a 36th Annual Berea Crafts Festival. It'll be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, July 7th, 8th, and 9th, beginning at 10 a.m. each day. And that'll be at Berea's Indian Fort Theater. You can contact Berea Tourism for more details there. And then just as somewhat of an early reminder, the Madison County Fair And horse show begins Thursday, July the 27th, and runs through Saturday, August the 5th. And anybody that wants to register for any of the contests or pageants, they can. The forms will be available online at Madison County Fair and Horse Show website, and then that is at themadisoncountyfair.com. So, and then always remember to check us out on Facebook, on our website, for any job postings or anything going on in the county. Thank you all very much. Department heads. Philip, I think you want to say a little something today.
We'll try to keep it short.
Sure.
We can. We just started summer, but now's the time to, if you're thinking about having an event in a county park, a 5K or a family reunion or something in the fall, get hold of us now, because we don't want you to get disappointed thinking you can call a week before to get a pavilion and it's not available. So you can contact us through the portal on the Madison County's website, or by calling 624-0013. I encourage everybody to plan a little early. Right before Christmas, we were lucky enough to find an artifact directly related to the Battle of Richmond. Everybody knows that the overall Union general at this battle was a fellow named William Bull Nelson from up in Maysville. And we were able to locate his Major General's commission signed by Abraham Lincoln, Edwin Stanton, and several other noted people. And it was in an auction in California. And through some negotiating back and forth and the deal falling through once, and then they contacted us back, and we were able to acquire it for the visitor center. It's still being paid for through the Friends Society, but this is it. And it is unheard of for a battlefield to have something like this from one of their overall commanders. I've talked to Gettysburg, Antietam, Chickamauga, and I get, "You got what?" And so it'll be on display out there. It has to make a couple of visits. Sunday it did go to Maysville, and I had a picture of it taken with Bull Nelson's grave, and you can still hear him cursing. So, but this is a pretty major find for a little old place like us. And we've raised about 2/3 of the money since June the 1st to pay for this.
How did that come about?
Finding this?
Yeah.
It was in an auction in California, a high-end auction company that did not sell in March of 2015. Did not meet reserve, did not have any bids. We contacted them, they contacted the seller, we negotiated back and forth, and had a contract with them. The Battle of Richmond Association and a local benefactor did. And then we didn't hear anything, we didn't hear anything, we didn't hear anything, and we were afraid we got took. And then they contacted us and the seller backed out. And so they refunded the money, and then a couple of months later, they contacted us and said, "Are you still interested?" "Oh yeah, we're still interested." And they had instigated legal action against the seller because they had signed a contract with him. And a little bit more money, and here we are. Like I said, this is really neat for us. This may be the first time Abraham Lincoln signature has been in this room.
And I don't know, I'll say an anonymous donor is the one that
A
actually
local
purchased it.
benefactor,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
would borrow the money, and then the money's being raised to
Yeah.
pay him back.
Yeah.
And like I said, we had to raise 12.5, and we're almost to 9,000 in 27 days.
Yeah.
Phil, if you would tell the public how they can actually donate to help.
Just call out the visitor center, and we'll get the address, and larger checks are preferred. Of course, we could get this thing.
You're scaring everybody off. I mean,
So,
$25 and $50 would be.
we don't take
great.
state inmates out there or anything, so we can't.
Philip, this goes to the Battle of Richmond, right?
Goes to the Battle of
Doesn't
Richmond
go through the
Association.
county.
Doesn't
Right,
go
yeah.
through
It has nothing to do
the
with the
county or
county.
anything, and then they'll turn it over to us.
Yeah.
Thank you for, didn't want to be clear
Yeah,
on
so make
that,
sure
but
no tax dollars. or
no,
anything.
no tax
Yeah.
dollars is on this.
That box.
And but we'll have it here after the meeting for those who are here that want to see this. And like I said, this is unheard of for little old us. As Judge reported, 4th of July is next week. I don't want to step on our fire officials, but if you do decide to do fireworks at home, the last thing we want to do is have to call the ambulance or the fire department. Be very, very safe with these, and seriously consider going to a professional show. It's just not worth it. If you need me,
holler. If you don't, holler anyway. Thank you all.
Thanks, Bill. Any other department heads? All right, comments from Masters. Roger?
I want to congratulate Bill on his retirement. I've known Bill a long time. He and I were ordinated, went through ordination for deacons together a number of years ago. Been brothers a lot of years. But I appreciate Bill for his fairness that he's shown all through his career. Talking about the jail, it's just on my mind, and you know, it looks like to me that we've got some programs out there that benefit our constituents that we may have to look at about getting rid of to pay the bills. We take your recycling. I don't think it's doing any good as far as making us any money. It's costing us money, but it's a benefit to the public. You got the loaner truck, same situation. Dead animal. I don't know what all these are doing to the penny, but some of those are costing us, and we may have to start taking some of that money to pay the bills at the jail. Either that or come up with a fee or, God forbid, a tax to help pay it. But somehow it's got to be paid, and that's just part of it. I hate to see good, hard-working people have to lose something that they get a benefit from through the county to pay for the jail, but that's just part of our problem. That's about all I got, just what's on my mind.
Yeah. Thanks, Rob. John?
I don't have a lot, Judge. I just want to thank Willie for making some visits out in the 3rd District and trying to get some people satisfied with some road situations out there. Look forward to getting that new covered in out on Knob Creek and Knob Creek, right, Willie? And that's something new. Anytime we can get 80-20 money and get 80% of it paid by the state, I mean, if we can afford the other 20% and it's improving the county, I think you know, it's a worthwhile project. Just want to thank all the department heads and all the employees. Everything seemed to be going smooth. Just call me if you have any problems, and I'll work with you. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Tom?
That's pretty short too, Judge. I just wanted to thank our two Scotts there, Scott Tessie and the road department once again for, it looks like you guys have been working together pretty good, because at least in the 4th District, I don't see any mattresses laying around anywhere. All of our refrigerators seem to be pretty much picked up for today anyway. So I appreciate you guys being diligent on that. I was down at Kingston yesterday. They are supposed to be pouring the deck on the bridge today. And the foreman down there said it'll probably be maybe 2-3 more weeks in that project. Hopefully it'll be wrapping up. So that's it for me, Judge. If anybody needs me, reach me at 200-9765.
Thanks, Tom. Larry?
Well, Tom, I stopped by there this morning, and they have done a good job, and it seems like they're kind of on schedule. So, and they had a lot of rain.
Yeah, they're way ahead of schedule.
Yeah, so I'm glad to see that. And Bill, I'd say to you, good luck on whatever you decide to do. I guess I've been here about as long as you, but I can remember myself and Mr. Slick Parks always discussing you, but he'd always say, well, he's right. Well, that's a compliment coming from him. That's a compliment coming from him. You had to get up early to outguess him. I see Dr. Walker's here, and welcome being here, and seems like everything at the airport's flying pretty good.
They are flying very well, right?
Okay.
We just need some action from you all on the road.
You mentioned that, and I told you I'd get with you on that. I think it's all in Tommy's district, so, I mean, he's got the extra money, so. He's holding up.
That's the reason I thought I would mention it at this point.
Yeah, there we go. Just need more money.
Yeah. Other than that, I do too. Other than that, Judge, I'm just glad to be here, and I thought this has been a very good court meeting, and everybody seemed to agree. And you know, it's very seldom you all agree all the time, but it's been a good meeting.
Yeah, thanks, Larry.
I appreciate it.
Mark, do you have anything? Okay.
I'd just like to mention, we've had a few visitors from the State Board of Elections this morning on election security that came down to look at our storage and kind of looking into how the state can do a little better on keeping our stuff secure. Luckily here in the state of Kentucky, nothing is networked, nothing's connected to anything else, so there's no way that somebody can come in, but they're working on it. And
Russia can't get it?
no, They can hack up the state, they can't hack here.
Do they like the storage unit down there?
Yeah, yeah, and that's a big piece of it, is
Yeah.
the security of the machines between elections is important
Right.
too, because you can get into that machine and lay
Right.
software in there that's just laying in wait for the next
Yeah.
election to start up, so. And, we've got, Commissioner Hack coming down from Transportation Cabinet on Friday to, look at our operation and discuss our new database and a few things, so we're, a lot going on with clerk's office, and we're just trying to get a little better every day, and I'd like to thank my staff. Without them, I'd be absolutely zero. They do a
Yeah.
fantastic job.
Yeah. Thanks, Kenny. It's good. Comments from the audience? Anybody in the audience?
Please, I'd like to give an update on Red Lake Volunteer Fire.
Sure, if you will, come up to the podium, please. I was sitting there looking at that tank, and I was like, man,
You know, you
What is-
were thinking,
Bill
Bill was
retired.
already on options, what you were thinking.
Yeah.
but
well, I was
Bill
thinking
ain't
he's
there yet.
retiring, he's getting ready to be a fireman or something, you know?
What's the difference in weight on that tank versus the old aluminum tank?
What is it, fiberglass?
Mhm.
It-
Good, yeah,
Oh,
thanks.
good. Can't wait.
Just wanted to come as a Red Lake volunteer to thank the taxpayers of Madison County and this court for supporting us each year with $16,000 to keep our volunteer fire department running. You know, got a little bit of complaint because we've now had 21 firefighters that started with us with either all or part of their training. Our chief has just stolen 2 of them from us this summer, in spring. But we're very proud of the fact that the Red Lake Volunteers have 21 people who have started with us who are now paid firefighters through them starting, coming, training with us, the money that's been given to us that we can send them to state fire school, get them to that 150 hours or more, so thus we can give back to this entire county. So Red Lake is very proud of itself for this. And we've come a very long way, but most of that also without this money that this court gives us would have possibly been impossible. I would like to brag on my chief and myself. Since we've started, we have had more than $500,000 in grants received at the volunteer fire department through FEMA and the state. That is a $7,000 air pack. It is now upgraded. It will not craze until I get above 500 degrees. It also lets me know when I have 30% of air left that I need to be getting out. The gear we wear today covers us up so much we do not realize how much heat we're in, how deep we are. And so what was happening is firefighters were running out of air deep inside of a building because they started to, I believe, with about 15% air, it would start to buzz, and now gives us 30%. It tells us we need to be getting out. That's part of the problem with this good gear. We can't feel the heat until we're actually burning sometimes. And so the training, the gear is very important. My problem as a treasurer right now, my 2 main trucks are 20 years old. FEMA changed from being able to get a used truck that I have to write for a new truck. I have to tell them my trucks are no longer serviceable. We have 2 20-year-old trucks that are very serviceable. Thus, I'm going to probably have to wait till they're 30 years old before I can actually qualify for a grant. Our brush truck, we just lost an alternator. It's a 200 amp 14 volt. Buy a brand new one, $1,100. We found a rebuilt for $500. Our other brush truck is actually Waco is using it right now, which makes us very happy that we're able to share equipment with basically a sister fire department. Jason Rollins is actually one of our members too. We work very closely together because our main problem is finally Red Lake's got a little money. We've got good equipment. We've got a good building. I just don't have enough volunteers. And so Waco and Red Lake we really need to rely on each other. Just had 2 members go to Ravenna. They fought the lumber fire over there. Shelby Dunnigan went deep in, fought fire, came back out, thought he was covered with blood. Basically, we ruined an $800 pair of pants for our turnout gear that was covered in paint that we're not able to remove. We've applied for that with insurance through the fire department over there because we have a $1,000 deductible, so it won't help us. We'll end up having to buy a new set of gear for Mr. Dunnigan. This gear was only 1 year old. You know, so these are the things that a volunteer fire department has to put up with. But we are getting great support from the people in our area. We have a building, a training room that we loan out to people. We don't rent it. They just leave us a donation. They only sign a piece of paper saying they'll leave it the same way they find it. And thus, if a group doesn't have money to pay us, or it's a funeral or something like that, Red Lick is not getting paid. We're not a business. We are a service organization taking care of the people in our fire district and letting them know that we are true volunteers and we're not expecting anything from them. But we'd love a little thank you every now and then. That'd be great. I just wanted to kind of hit with our budget. We have approved for next year for $36,000. The state has raised us from $8,250 to $11,000 over the last year. That really makes a big difference. Plus, they've increased the point to where I can actually use this for training. One of our biggest expenses is $6,500 for insurance every year for my department. The county, when I first got here, was $5,000. Thank you so much for raising this to $16,000. That makes the biggest difference. Our fundraising at Red Lick on a very bad year, maybe $6,000. On a good year, maybe up to $13,000, but on average $9,000. So have come up with a budget of $36,000. Going down this, there are things that are just have to have, and the biggest one is insurance, and then equipment. We put $6,000. The nice thing is right now is that sometimes we don't have to spend a full $6,000 on equipment. But like I said, we lose one air pack, that's $7,000. The other thing was training. My problem is right now with training is we have money for training. We have it in there. But guess what? We couldn't use it all this year. Used to be in 2008, our guys didn't have jobs. Now almost all my members, except for a few of them, are working 40 to 60 hours a week. And to take a weekend off to be away from their family to get extra training, we're asking too much. I need more volunteers. But I also need the families of my volunteers to understand we want them state level training. I just went to Lexington Fire School. I'm 60 years old. Did nozzle forward, taught me how to fight fire with these Lexington firefighters. My God, what a good group of people, strong, motivated, well trained. Kentucky can be proud of Lexington firefighters. Great job they did up there. The other thing too is that we actually have down here savings for PPE. Part of our budget is each year we put a minimum of $4,000 in, because we don't want to be caught in 10 years when our gear is obsolete. A firefighter gets killed, FEMA will not cover their insurance, and our gear wears out every 10 years. So we're actually saving money, putting it into CDs, $4,000. So in 10 years, if we have to, and not able to get a grant, we will be able to buy new turnout gear for at least 20 members, and that's our goal. Any money that's not used for training or for equipment is put into savings, because somewhere along the line, I can borrow $75,000 from the state, but I'm going to probably need at least $75,000 if I can't get a grant to get a new truck in 10 years. So these are the things that we're prepping for. I do have a breakdown for y'all on the back. It kind of shows our outflow. This total inflow for this last year, $104,000. Boy, that's a lot. Well, of course, $64,000 was the grant for this. We can look down here and see that the road pickup, guys, this road pickup. I'm like, what are you doing? They make fun of me, that how do you make money? I pick up garbage. But I tell you what, this road pickup for Red Lick is a godsend. Not only do I get exercise, do I get my guys in shape for wildland season each spring and fall. They learn the roads, they know the ditches, they know where their trucks can't go. And we clean up this place, we live in a better place, and we appreciate the road pickup money. It is one of our best fundraisers. And like I said, sometimes the chili supper only brings in $250 profit. So thank you very much for that. Once again, Red Lick is doing great. And we have a tanker that if the chief needs us, he can call us. We'll respond up to the bridge in northern Madison County. My other problem is that sometimes I'm the only person around in the daytime because everybody else is working, because at least I have a few days off. Sometimes I'm not there. There may not be a Red Lick volunteer that can respond on a Monday through Friday because we're all working. Is there any questions for me?
How much lighter is this pack than the old?
It's actually a little bit heavier.
Heavy?
I think it's a pound or two heavier. It fits better. It stays on your back better. But compared to a metal one, yes, it's 20 pounds lighter than the metal one. But we had a different model that is 13 years old. It was kind of nice. We were able to loan a couple of them out for training to Madison County firefighters. But being 13 years old, needs to say one of the face pieces, broke. But we keep those in service so we can actually go in fire with them. But each year we're spending $350 to get them certified, and we probably spend about $400 a year on those old packs just replacing parts that are breaking. So having these brand new air packs, this is what we're wearing into true fire. We're using the other ones for training and not tearing up our new gear.
You were talking about training stuff, and I understand because not everybody's got a family and it's hard to get away. Can you maybe coordinate with our chief if we have a training here that would help you out?
Yes, they do give us calls, and even with the hazmat training and stuff, we do get that, so we do try to get members out on not our Thursday night, but anytime we try to let our members know there's other training. And when we get a new person that comes in that really wants to be a paid firefighter, give me 14, 16 months. Show up to our training. We'll get you to other training. We'll get you to state fire school. We'll make it to where you can walk in and talk to this man and he'll say, I want you. And we can give you a job in about 16 months if you'll do a little more than just show up with us.
Yeah.
Good, thank you for the update.
We
Well-
appreciate you being good stewards of your funds there. You're doing a great job over there.
And if at any time we are a 501(c) charity, anybody who donates to us, it is a tax deductible donation. And at any time, if the county wants a line by line of where that money is going, I can show them. And the only problem is right now is I have $10 more than I'm supposed to and I can't figure out where it came from.
That bill's a car and give it to him.
Chief, I'd just like to say, I'm always appreciative to all the volunteer fire departments and the people that are willing to give their time and their life to help the citizens of the county and you know, entrust their safety for the county to make us safer. And I appreciate each and every one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, did you get to see all these?
Yeah,
Did you make that announcement?
I did. You okay, go ahead.
We just also wanted to let everybody know that there's going to be a scramble at Battlefield on July the 8th for the Madison County Veterans Memorial Association, and that'll be a shotgun start at 9 a.m. Mulligans are $5 each, limit to, there'll be a skirt hole in the middle. It's $200 per team, $50 per player.
Thanks, Tom.
You don't have to play to donate. You can donate to the Veterans Administration.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Next on the agenda is to approve the paying of the claims and approving the transfers.
Second.
No discussion. Call the roll.
Mr. Tudor? Mr. Buckin?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Mr. Barker?
Yes.
Just two.
Yes. Next court date is Tuesday, July the 11th, 2017, and it will be in Berea. Again, that's Tuesday, July 11th. That will be at 9:30 in Berea. Need a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Buckin?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Barker?
Yes.
Mr. Tudor?
Yes.
Just two.
Yes. Appreciate everybody being here. Thank you.